Right, in this video, I'm going to go over how to use the Facebook pixel with Mailchimp landing pages. Now, if you do Facebook advertising, you'll know what the pixel is. In a nutshell, for those of you who don't know what the pixel is, and you might have heard about this Facebook pixel, this all wonderful, amazing pixel. And what it basically does is it puts a little bit of code on sites that you have control of, such as sites that you can create, such as websites, landing pages, and if you use landing page software elsewhere. So what it does then is that when that page loads, it loads this pixel and it relates it to the person who has a Facebook account related to the computer that's being used. So if somebody goes to your website from Facebook, it basically tracks what they do on your website and feeds that data back to Facebook. And it actually gives us a really powerful way of advertising to those people. So when people come and view our page, it shows that they're showing a little bit of interest in our page. And then what we can do is target those people with a Facebook advert. And we can then sort of find people who are similar and target to those people and similar people to get an audience that are likely to convert and be interested in our services. It's quite a powerful little thing, this Facebook pixel. So it's really handy to have on your Mailchimp landing pages, so you can track these people and then target them again in the future, especially if you've got a free sign up. You find out the people who are interested, and then you find out the people who are really interested do sign up, and they could be powerful people to advertise to in the future. So it's always good to get the Facebook, even if you're not doing Facebook ads right now. If you think you are going to use Facebook as a platform to market on, it's always good to get the Facebook pixel installed now, so you're collecting data, and then if you do decide to run adverts in the future, you've got that data ready then for when people sign up. So how do we use the Facebook pixel in our Mailchimp account on Mailchimp landing pages? Okay, so just to cast your mind back, when we created our first landing pages, we actually created 2 landing pages. One is a landing page with a subscription form where people can opt in to join our list, and the other one we basically used as a thank you page. So once they've opted in, it goes back to this thank you page, which is very basic, just says thank you. So if we, I'm just going to open both of these up in a separate window. Actually, they're not published at the moment. So we're going to focus on the landing page first. We're going to click on edit. And if you remember, we've got the tracking section at the bottom. And we have actually already gone over how, tracking with Mailchimp. We can do that by quite easily. We've already gone over how to track with Google Analytics. So for this one, we're going to track with a Facebook pixel. And basically what we need to do is just put the Facebook pixel ID in here. So if we go to our Facebook pixel, if we go to our Facebook business account and go to the pixel section, if you use Facebook ads, you'll know where this is, you'll be able to find it. We're going to basically copy the pixel ID, like so, and just paste it in here and save. Now that's done, I'm going to click on publish. I'm just going to go back to the campaigns, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the thank you page as well. And publish, and that's done. Those campaigns are now live. So if we just take a look, that's the landing page, that's the thank you page. So just to remind you, this was the landing page that we created. It was we played about with the design, showed you things that we could add, and we've got the subscription form there. When people subscribe, they end up then on this thank you page, which we just created with a really basic thank you for subscribing. But that's the thank you page. Now, if you do use the Facebook pixel already, you'll probably know about the Facebook pixel helper extension for Google Chrome, which is this little blue icon up here with the number 2 in green. What this is basically showing us now is that the Facebook pixel helper is picking up on 2 pixels. And we click on that, and we've got some micro data that it's detecting, giving us some information on showing a page, and it's basically reporting that we've got a page view. So what it's saying is that this pixel, somebody's come to view this page, and it's going to send that information back to say to Facebook that a Facebook user has viewed this page. And we've got exactly the same on this one here, page view. Now, when we are using the Facebook pixel, we can have events. And what that means is basically it's great knowing when somebody's come to view something of ours, viewed a page on our website, viewed a landing page in our Mailchimp account. We can track those people who've come to view us. But what if people take action? What if people buy something from us or subscribe to us? We really want to know who those people are, because they're the people who are more likely to be interested in our services. So if we can track the people who are more likely to be interested in our services, then that's a better way to target people and get even better conversion rates. Now, in the Facebook pixel, we have different codes for tracking different events. We can have the basic code, which reports a page view feedback. And then when somebody takes action, like subscribes or purchases, then it triggers a slightly different piece of code, and it says that this person is a person who has bought something or a person who has subscribed to something. So in our example here, we've got a subscription form. So it's great knowing who's viewed this page, but really this page here, the thank you page, when people view this one, it's basically telling us that this person who's viewed this page is a better person than somebody who's only viewed this page and not actually signed up. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So what we need to do is we need to trigger a slightly different code. Now, just putting the Facebook pixel ID into your landing page, it doesn't decipher whether that landing page is for somebody who's subscribed. It doesn't decipher, who's purchased the product or anything. It just gives a page view feedback, which doesn't give us enough information in Facebook. If we are running a conversion campaign in Facebook, it needs to know people who have viewed the landing page, and it needs to know people who have actually gone through the process of subscribing, so that it can work out who the best people are. And if it's not seeing anybody who's actually subscribing, it's only seeing views, and that subscription code isn't getting triggered, then it's never going to function on the advert. It's never going to be able to deliver properly. It's never going to, the algorithm's never going to be able to sort of work it out as to what to do. So what we need to do with the Mailchimp landing pages is create custom conversions in our Facebook pixel, so that when people do come to this page, we basically tell the Facebook pixel, if this page gets viewed, it's for somebody who has subscribed. Okay, so it's quite long-winded, it's quite complicated. If you don't use the pixel at the moment, it probably doesn't make an awful lot of sense. But as you do and you get practice at using Facebook pixels or Facebook advertising, it will begin to make a bit more sense. Okay, so jumping into our Facebook business account, we've got over here, we've got a create a custom conversion. And if we click on that, it gives us options of telling the pixel what's going on. So what we want first is we want to tell the Facebook pixel that this is somebody who's viewing our page. So what we do is we take the link and let me just check that link a second. I didn't change the URL for that, but what we basically do Okay. Yeah. So what we basically do is we take our URL. Now, if you remember, you gave it a custom ending here to say something like landing page. So what we basically do is we take that URL for the landing page, copy it, and then in the custom conversion, it's got our pixel selected there, find an artist pixel. We want all traffic going to that page, and we want traffic, we want the page to be specifically that page, that landing page, that URL there. So we're going to paste that in to there, like so. We can add another rule as well, so we can add another page if we've got two landing pages, which is fine. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give this a page a name. So this is going to be landing. Let's call it Mailchimp landing page X for now, and we're going to call this a view. And the category, what we want to report back when somebody triggers this pixel from this page. And we've got all these options here. You can see sort of the options that we've got, so like completes registration, donates, it looks for a location, it initiates a checkout if they're about to buy something, it creates a lead, if they do actually buy, they schedule a call. There's all sorts of different things that we can trigger. Start the trial, submit application. And as we can see, we've got one here called subscribe, which we'll use in a minute. But at the moment, they're simply on the landing page. We don't know if they've subscribed. They're simply viewing the content. So we're going to pick view content. We can enter a value here if it's got a monetary value to that sort of action. As we know, this is just viewing the content. We're not making an income from people viewing our content. They have to take action to do that. So I'll discuss that one in the next one in a minute. Okay, so we're just going to click on create. Super, that's done. Saying it's been done. And what we're going to do is create another custom conversion. Again, we want the traffic, and this time we want the traffic that is going to the thank you page. So we're going to copy the thank you page URL, and we're going to paste it to match, not contain, but match. This one we're going to call Mailchimp landing page X subscribed. Because the people who do view this page are people who have gone through the process of subscribing here. Unless they actually know that URL itself and go straight to it, which doesn't benefit them in any way. Everybody that's going to view that page is going to be somebody that's completed this information here. Okay. So that's that, and we've named it, and the category for this one, we are going to select subscribe. Now, if this was a landing page for a product and you were selling, say, a £10 product, then the thank you page would be people who have bought that product. Makes sense? So that action, the category for that action would be a purchase. And because it's a £10 product, we could put a £10 value in there. It's set to US dollars. I've not set the settings up on this account properly. This is just a test account in my business in my Facebook business platform. So yeah, it reports a monetary value for people who have gone through that process. So that when you look at your data in your Facebook pixel, you can kind of see what revenue you've made. You can see your statistics for who's viewed it, who's bought, and what revenue that sort of generated for you. And that's really good as well when you're doing Facebook ads, because if you're spending £1 on an advert and you're making £3 back, then you can really easily see that you've got a profitable Facebook ad funnel. Okay, so this one isn't a purchase, so I'm just going to get rid of that. This one is simply a subscribe, and we can click on create. and we wait. There we go, done. And that's it. We've set up the pixel to sort of track all the activity and to report back the right things from our landing pages. You know, a lot of people show that it's, you know, when we go into the settings, you simply put the Facebook pixel tracking code down here. And I actually was quite concerned about Mailchimp landing pages, because if you do just put the tracking pixel code in there, it's not actually going to track conversions, which means when you're running conversion adverts on Facebook Pixel, it's not going to work with Mailchimp landing pages. You have to go through this process of creating custom conversions in order to get the right reporting back for your Pixel, so that your adverts can be, you know, they can work themselves out properly. And that's how you do it in Mailchimp. It can be done. It's a little bit sort of long-winded. You know, Mailchimp landing pages are very simple for certain things, but once you start getting into advanced areas, it's really quite difficult to get it to do advanced things. It's quite basic, so it's easy to set up really quick, but once you get into the complicated things, it becomes a little bit less usable, which is why I still recommend that you create landing pages in a WordPress website, where you can do a lot more things a lot, I wouldn't say easier, but once you've learned how to do it, it's a lot better. If you do are stuck with Mailchimp landing pages, you know, if you don't have a website and you're just relying on landing pages, then great. This is how you do it, and you can still run Facebook ads to it too. Okay, so that is the Facebook pixel installed on our landing pages.